Hi everyone, welcome back to Narc Shield. This is Jennifer and I'm so excited to be back here with you tonight. We're going to talk about some narcissistic personality disorder traits. We're going to talk about some codependency and how the relationship dance happens. And so here we go. I wanted to talk about trust because someone commented to me and they mentioned trust in the very beginning of their comment, and I was glad that they did because it's something that I wanted to talk about anyway. So here we go. Someone like me will go into a relationship believing that we can trust you and you're a trustworthy person. So we will share everything with you. We want to share everything with you and we want you to trust us in the same way. And so codependence can also project onto people the way that they feel as narcissistic type people will do the same thing to us. So where they may project their anger and jealousy, their rage and disdain onto us, we can project our feelings of love and trust and things like that. So we go into the relationship trusting automatically, and the way you're really supposed to do it is to go in and let someone earn your trust. I didn't know that growing up. I'm not kidding you. I didn't know that until a couple of years ago. I was floored. I just assumed that everybody was trustworthy, and I was in therapy and I kept going, I don't understand why they did this to me. I trusted them. I told them everything. And then they took things that I may have trusted them with, used them against me, maybe even made the story even bigger than what it was that I told them, and shared it to smear me later. It was very hurtful. And even sometimes they would take a little bit of the truth that I gave them and then dump in something that really actually happened to them. So they projected it onto me and made that story believable when they went and told it to other people, because there was like peppered, truths within it. It's very hurtful, but I didn't realize. I just thought everybody trusted, and until they did something to show you different. I didn't realize that logic didn't make any sense. And it's funny because I've actually said that to other people that are just like me, and they're like, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. And I'm like, no, I actually learned that you're supposed to take time to get to know someone and share little bits of yourself that are private like that over time. And then they are supposed to do the same thing. And I never realized that I was doing most of the talking. And narcissistic people, they really want you to do that. They want you to share everything about you. They want to know about you so that they can mirror back to you who you want to see. And so basically, you're falling in love with yourself. It's a mirage. It's not real. And you fall in love, and then later when the devaluation comes, or the discard, both, you are looking back and all you want to do is get back to where it was. I just want our relationship to get back on track. I just want to have that guy back again. I don't know what happened. What is it that I did to make it go so wrong? We blame ourselves. We beat ourselves up. And it's not anything that we did necessarily. It's just that we didn't understand the personality type that we were dealing with, and we didn't realize that none of it was true from the very beginning. And that can be extremely painful because we want to believe that they loved us, that they cared for us. But we're just an appliance. We're just a toy to those people. They need us for narcissistic supply so that they can survive in the world. They're just trying to get through the day. And when they open their eyes in the morning, they need narcissistic supply from the very beginning. They do reset from the day before, but they do need that constant narcissistic supply. That may be that they are hoping to check their voicemails and to have voicemails from supply. They're checking their text messages. They are checking their emails, and as they get into the shower and start on their day. I mean, it just needs to be hit after hit after hit. And there's different types of supply. It could be the person that is the mailman. It could be the doorman. It could be the coffee person. Those are tertiary sources. I learned all this through HG Tutor at narcsite.com. Or it can be the flying monkeys, the people that just kind of hang out with the narcissist and leech onto them, and they're getting benefits from the narcissist, and the narcissist doesn't mind giving them those benefits as long as they perform well for the narcissist. And the narcissist will use them to hold up their facade, basically say that they're great people, and so they do certain things for these people to bond them to be able to go out into the world. And if anybody ever questions them, they will be able to say, no, 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 this is a really good person. This is what they're like. You must be mistaken, kind of thing. So that is how a narcissist works. They don't see you as a person. They see you as an appliance, as a toy, something that they can play with for a little while and then put back into the toy box. And they'll leave you in the toy box until they need you again. And if they decide they need you again, they'll come back and pull you out of the toy box. It could be months, it could be years, it could be days, it could be hours. And it's always a game being played with a narcissist. And narcissistic people don't necessarily know that they are a narcissist. Some have some awareness that there's something off with them because they are very keen. They are great at watching other people. So I have to be honest, these people would be the type of person that you would want to be your security guard. If you were in Hollywood, you want someone like that because they watch, they learn, and they can predict pretty much what people are thinking, just because they've been doing it since forever, and they just know, and they use that to their advantage. And they're able to manipulate so many people that way. So example, if I caught on to the narcissist and I decided, you know what, you've been lying to me. I have pretty much gotten all the information that I need, and I'm going to go to the narcissist, and I may say something or maybe not. Maybe I'm just holding back and trying to still act normal with them, waiting for the right time to have a talk with them about things, or maybe I'm just waiting because I'm still second guessing my judgment. And they can sense that there's something different. And when they do, they can look you in the eyes and really look. It feels like that they are looking into your soul, and they can sense the change. And at that point, they know that their mask is slipping. They're not going to say that. It's not like, oh, you know, I'm wearing a fake mask, and by the way, I can tell that it's slipping, and I'm not liking that you can see that about me, so let me get out of this really quick. They're not going to say those things, but they will find ways to devalue you. And it could be that you get the silent treatment. There's many manipulations that they use. Many of them use the silent treatment, though, and I can't stand the silent treatment. Who likes the silent treatment? It's just not very nice. People should just sit down and talk about things, but the narcissist can't do that, and they will never accept accountability. They can't accept responsibility. It's uncomfortable for them, and so what they're going to do is they're going to deflect. They will blame shift. They will project. They will get angry and whatever to get away from that uncomfortableness. They're not going to be like, I'm so sorry that I did this. The only reason that they would ever say that they were sorry is that is the last thing that they can possibly do to get out of a situation, and that's because they still need you for some reason. Otherwise, you can forget it. They are going to try to confuse you so that they can deflect the situation right off of them. Most of the time they do that by blame shifting onto you and saying, no, well, if you didn't do this, then maybe I wouldn't have done that. That's how that works, and it's not right. Most people, when they come, healthy people can sit down and talk about their feelings and how something made them feel. And, you know, honey, you may not have realized this, but when you said the other day, blah, 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 it really made me feel uncomfortable. Well, honey, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. What I meant was, and maybe I said it in the wrong way, but I want you to know that I love you and I care about you and I never want to hurt you on purpose. Okay, honey, thank you. I'm glad we had this talk and I hope you have a great day. A narcissist is not going to do that. They're just going to be like, well, if you wouldn't have barked off at me the other day, or if you wouldn't have been doing whatever it was and made me late that morning, then maybe I wouldn't have been da 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 da. Or if you would have acted better, maybe I wouldn't have had to cheat on you. If you would have been sleeping with me, maybe I wouldn't have slept with somebody else. If you wouldn't have spent that money on that hairstyle that you got the other day, then maybe I wouldn't have had to have stolen the money out of your account to pay for blah, blah. I'm just making some stuff up, but that's kind of how it goes. And you can sit there and be like, and you're starting to think like, well, maybe you don't deserve certain things, or you just get confused, and it takes it completely off topic. It's meant to confuse you, disorient your thoughts, and disorient everybody's thoughts so that it takes the focus off of them and puts it onto something else. It could be big things. It could be in the media where, you know, people want that too. Also, like I'm going to think of something like I Love England. So something like the Royals, or they even say this in like paparazzi type things. It's like whatever the next best thing is. And so a Hollywood star might say something like, oh, the focus was on me, but thank goodness for so-and-so because now it's off of me. And sorry that that was going on with them, but I'm so glad that the focus isn't on me anymore. So I was going to use the Royals as an example. So like Prince Andrew and everything that's going on with him, a little bit of the focus was taking off of that a little bit because Meghan Markle and Harry, you know, were moving to Canada, and the things that are going on with their relationship, which that's a whole nother thing. And so, and actually at narcsite.com, there's a lot of articles about Harry and Meghan Markle, and he writes on and gives great extensive outline of, he says that Meghan Markle is a narcissist and Harry is the empath. And it's actually really good articles if you want to see them. They're at narcsite.com. I'm not going to get into all of that because that's his bag, but it's pretty interesting. And, you know, so the narcissistic people, if they can hurt you and not see that they've hurt you, listen, your feelings are valid. So if you go to someone and you say that your feelings are hurt and this is how you're feeling, someone should be able to hear you and validate you and be able to explain themselves, even if they didn't mean to hurt you. So instead of making you feel bad about your feelings, if they really care about you, they're going to listen to your feelings. They're going to be empathic and be able to put themselves in your shoes and be like, wow, okay, I hadn't thought about it that way. And I'm sorry that you felt that way, but that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. And then you also would be able to hear them out, put yourself in their shoes, and be able to see their perception or their perspective. And so that's how that works. But a narcissistic person cannot do that. They will not do that. They cannot do that. And they love drama. They will be the first to say they don't love drama. They are always in drama-filled relationships. And you, as a codependent, if you are with a narcissist or hang out with narcissistic people or constantly getting into narcissistic relationships because you have not learned to create your boundaries and learned what's going on with you, then you are prime prey for people like this to prey on you, because they know that you don't hold your boundaries. They know that they feel you're pathetic and that you're someone that they can have power and control over, and that you'll just do whatever they say, and they can beat you down. And they will replace you in time. There's usually lots of people at play during the relationship that are just kind of in holding pattern in case you don't work out. And so you will be going through the devaluation. You'll go through the golden period, then you'll go through the devaluation, and then you'll go through the discard, and then it'll go back to respite and golden period. But the golden period gets shorter and shorter and shorter every single time, and you're getting more and more abused every single time. And you don't know how to tell people, and then you start to act out, and it's called reactive abuse. And you start acting out in a way that you normally wouldn't act out, like, and it's like they have projected all their ugly onto you. And so where once, when in the beginning of the relationship, where they may have been the jealous person, the person always questioning you and this type of thing, and in the very end they have turned around and dumped all of that onto you, and you have become that person who is jealous or not trusting, thinking that they're cheating on you, checking up on them, questioning them. And so they are able to say that you are the one who is the problem in the relationship, and it makes them feel better. It makes them look better. It actually works many, many times. And if you have really close relationships and people know you really well, and you've had friendships for years and years and years, those people are going to stand behind you. They know better. But if they don't, it's easy for them to manipulate other people, and this is done to hold up their facade. It's really insidious, and it's disgusting that they do this. But again, they are people that have their own issues and have had abuse, and this is what they learned. These are the coping skills that they took on as children and have been doing it their entire life. Many people do not even realize it. And if they do realize that, they have a higher cognitive ability, and it works for them, and so they're like, you know what, it works for me, I don't care, and I'm going to continue to do this. And they may even have some sociopathy with them, or antisocial personality disorder. There may have other disorders going on with that disorder. But narcissistic people, the main thing is they don't have empathy. They cannot put themselves in your shoes. And so they don't have the same exact, they have feelings that we have, but they're the bad feelings. They're the jealousy, the anger. They actually feel hate and malice, and they are jealous people. They don't feel love and joy. If you're laughing at a comedian, they can laugh right along with you, but they aren't feeling the feeling that you're feeling that makes it funny. It's like, oh, that's so funny, ha ha ha, this is great. And you're feeling that laughter and how funny it actually is. They can work out that it's funny because everybody's laughing, and that it's quick-witted, or they understand that, but they don't get the feeling behind it. So when they're laughing, they're not feeling that laughter. They don't, it's really sad, and it's very hard to explain because I'm not a narcissist, which is why I went to a narcissist to get answers, because I was so confused and I wanted to understand so bad. And that's why HG Tutor was part of the process for my healing. And you can find him at narcsite.com if you're interested in learning about how narcissists think and feel. So it is very confusing, but it is something that many people will say, I would never allow someone to treat me like that. I'm too smart for that. That would never happen to me. I've had people say that to me, because they've seen me go through certain things, and they're like, oh, I would never let anybody to do that with me, and I would get out. And I can honestly say that there's one person in particular I'm thinking of right now that did that with me, and were always like, just, what are you doing messing with this person? And why do you keep going back? And you must be crazy. They actually said that. And this was a very close, actually, it was I'm not going to say, but it was a very close friend of mine. And they said those things to me, and I would get upset. And so I ended up isolating myself and going through the process of healing all by myself, because I was being judged. And the people that were judging me were either going through some of the same exact things and just projecting onto me because they didn't, or deflecting onto me because they didn't want to deal with their own issues, which a lot of people do, or they really believed that. But I can say that this particular friend ended up going through something like this, and it happened and they didn't see it coming. And when it did, they did recognize it because of stuff that I talk on now and my process of healing. And they were one of the ones that were like, that I would never allow somebody to do this to me. And they were the one who was like, you must be crazy because you keep doing this. They loved me, and they didn't mean to be hurtful in saying those things to me, but it was very hurtful because I was already beating myself up. I was already feeling like people didn't understand me. I was already not knowing how to express my feelings, and I didn't know how to express what was going on inside of me and how hurt I was and how much I had been taking on and how broken I was. And so to have more come at me was like daggers just being torn through me. And that's how we end up isolating ourselves, part of the reasons anyway. And narcissists are looking for you to do that. They want you to be alone. They want you to feel bad. They want you to feel bad because it's the things that they liked about you from the beginning, they really end up hating you for, because you have the traits they don't, and they want that. And it does make them jealous that you are happy and are able to feel joy, things that they cannot feel. They can mimic it and fake all of that, and they will. And I can tell you that for me, I've even been in a relationship with someone like, they always have somebody before, if it's a romantic relationship, and it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but I usually talk on it in that way because it's just what most people talk about. But they always have somebody lined up before the discard for you. They've been getting over you long before you ever started to get over them. And so for you, when the discard comes, you're like blown away. You didn't see it coming. You're completely distraught. You're wanting to talk about it. They don't want anything to do with it. They're already gone. They're moved on with someone else. You can't believe it. You can't believe they're in public with someone else, on social media with someone else, and that their flying monkeys are all liking. Look how happy you guys are. These people didn't have empathy for you either. And you know why? Because the narcissist for a long time knew that this was coming, and they were smearing you so that when this happened, it looked normal.